welcome to an episode of our Vegetable Kingdom series. Today we will be making cauliflower buffalo bites, and we're going to start by preheating the oven to bake at 400 degrees, and we'll preheat that while we're prepping the cauliflower. We have two pans today that have about 2 tablespoons of avocado oil on them spread out. I have prepped already 2 heads of cauliflower, and I just have the florets, and I've washed them and they're set aside. They were about medium heads. If you use large heads, you may have to adjust the recipe accordingly, and maybe you want to do only 1 head of cauliflower. Maybe it's not something you want to have an abundance of like we do. And then we're going to take a bowl and put 2 cups of almond flour in the bowl. And to this we will add 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, and 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. And we're just going to whisk this together. Once your almond flour is whisked with your spices, we will take since we're doing a vegetable series and there's no animal products, we're using the equivalent of 2 eggs, but it is flax meal and water blend in the blender. So 1/4 cup of flax meal and 1 cup of water, put it in your blender for 2 minutes. And then you will get a bunch to pour out and measure out 1/4 cup per egg that you need. And so for this we have 1/2 cup of our flaxseed mix egg replacement, and we are going to take one of the cauliflower florets and dip it in the egg mixture, shake it off a little bit, and depending on the cauliflower, you know how much you end up with, you may need to add a little more at the end. And then we're going to dump it in our flour mixture and toss it around. I'm just using a couple of forks to kind of toss the flour mixture over it. And then I'm going to use the fork to pick it up, shake a little of the flour off, and just set it on the prepared baking pan. I will continue on with the rest of my cauliflower, and I'll catch you when it's all done. Alright, the oven is preheated, the cauliflower is all dipped and ready to go in the oven. So we'll pop this in the oven till they're crispy. Depending on how well I've cut them, some are smaller than others. You know how cauliflower florets can be sometimes. So it could be about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm using my stone. You may need to cut the time back if you're using metal pans, maybe more like 20 minutes. And you want to keep an eye on them and flip them so that they're cooking evenly. And you may need to flip your pans if you're doing 2 pans like I am. Okay, we'll pop them in the oven. So while the cauliflower buffalo bites are baking in the oven, we're going to whip up some buffalo sauce to pour on them and toss them in once they come out of the oven. And we are going to take 1/2 cup of buffalo sauce. My preferred brand is Noble Made, but you choose the brand that works best for you. And to this we will add 1/2 cup of avocado oil and 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. And if you don't want to use avocado oil, you certainly could substitute olive oil. That would work fine as well. And if you don't like Dijon mustard, try another mustard. I haven't, but there's no reason why you couldn't. And then you're just going to whisk these together and set them aside till the cauliflower comes out of the oven. So there you have, our sauce is all set and ready to go. And if you like to have, now since we're doing all vegetables, we would not do a buffalo cheese dip for our buffalo bites. But if that is something you like for your buffalo bites, I am not putting it together here because it's not something we want. But you could take 1 cup of coconut milk yogurt and mix that with 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of minced onion or minced chives, minced scallions, whatever you have. Okay, and you could mix those all together and keep it in the fridge till you're ready to dip your buffalo bites in. All right, it has been about 40 minutes actually. I'm going to take the cauliflower out and let's see if it's finally crispy and ready. Here we have it. Let me flip the camera around and let you take a look, and then I'll pour the buffalo sauce over and toss them, and I'll show you again with the camera. You don't need to see me in between, and then I'll take a bite. Now that the buffalo sauce is on, let's take a bite and see how yummy it is. So yummy. I hope you like it as much as I do. And remember, if you need to cut the heat a bit and have a little dipping sauce for it, you can mix 1 cup of yogurt with 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of minced onion or scallion or chives, whatever you'd like. So enjoy your cauliflower buffalo bites, and I'll catch you in another episode of our Vegetable Kingdom series. Thanks for joining me today, and have a great day.